Reading comprehension is the tip of the iceberg. I have so many parents coming to me saying, my child can't comprehend what they read. And my first question is, do they have strong auditory processing? And they say, what do you mean? Auditory processing is the foundational skill for being able to read. Then I ask the question of, can they decode? Well, what's that? When they get to a word they don't know and haven't seen before, can they easily sound it out without stumbling over it? And that's what's called decoding. And that's the second level for reading comprehension. Now, if you don't have those first two levels, so much of your brain is focused on just reading the words. You have nothing left in your brain to comprehend. The analogy I use, it's like trying to translate something in another language. So I speak German, but when I read German, I have to think about what each word means because I'm translating, because I'm not fluent in German. And by the end of the sentence, I have to go back now that I've translated each word in my head and now go back and make sense of the whole sentence. Well, if you can't decode, that's what it's like reading. So the third skill you ask is, are they reading fluently? Can they read with ease? So maybe they have the auditory processing, they can decode, but their reading is really choppy. Once again, they're not reading with ease, and so that they don't have much room in their brain left for comprehension. Now, the last part of it is that comprehension. Are they reading actively or are they reading mechanically? So what does that mean? Are they reading like you have just a random string of words and they're reading the words fine and they're reading them quickly, but they're reading them and getting to the end and then you say, what color was John's hat? And they say, I don't know, was he wearing a hat? Because they're reading the words as if it's a string of numbers. And that's what I call reading mechanically. And we have a lot of kids who read really well mechanically, but aren't reading actively. So that's the last piece here, is reading actively. When you're reading the words, are you creating a vivid image in your brain of what you've just read? Do you have a movie going on? And that's how you can actually comprehend and retain what you're reading. Auditory processing, word attack, fluency, reading actively equals comprehension.